Hello and welcome to Friday's Granada Reports.
Hello, thanks for joining us on the programme this evening.
We say the men who took Ashley from us should not have been in a position to commit this horrific crime. Both the police and probation had critical information but didn't act on it, and opportunities to protect Ashley were missed.
The family of a young man killed by two so-called friends say their fight to get justice for him will go on.
Once the Mayor of Liverpool, now appearing in court charged with bribery and corruption. Joe Anderson denies he's done anything wrong.
Do not tell me when to sit down!
Caroline talks to the truly amazing Owen Cooper from Warrington, the breakthrough star of the hit drama Adolescence. You'll be relieved to hear he's very different in real life.
He's gone a fair way in his time. A degree of success for Southport golfer Tommy Fleetwood.
Stay with us on the programme tonight because a bit later I'll be bringing you all the news, all the awards and all the stars from the Northern Music Awards in Liverpool.
And there should be some lovely sunshine over the next couple of days to get out and about. Also, the clocks go forward on Sunday morning. I'll have the full forecast later on.
Well, first tonight, the family who insists the police and probation service let down their son and brother who was killed by two men he knew.
Ashley Walsh was murdered in Manchester 3 years ago, but an inquest has now found there were multiple failings by Greater Manchester Police and the probation service who'd had previous contact with his killers.
While the coroner said those failings may not have contributed to Ashley's death, his family say they'll continue campaigning for justice. Our reporter Anna Yosef has more.
Ashley Walsh was stabbed to death in January 2022 by two men he thought were his friends. His body was dismembered and disposed of in 4 suitcases left in a park in Manchester. Aaron Evatt and his uncle Jerry McLachlan were jailed for life for his murder. The inquest was told police had visited McLachlan's home just weeks before the murder after he tried to buy an illegal knife. They were unaware he was on probation and had previous convictions for possessing knives. Despite telling the officer he was on licence, it wasn't followed up. At the time of Ashley's murder, McLachlan and Evatt were both on probation and living together. McLachlan was drinking heavily. Evatt reported this to his probation officer, but no action was taken. Today, the coroner said that while there had been multiple failings by Greater Manchester Police and the probation service, it would be conjecture to say those failings contributed to Ashley Walsh's death. He delivered a conclusion of unlawful killing. Ashley's family feel his death could have been avoided.
We say the men who took Ashley from us should not have been in a position to commit this horrific crime. Both the police and probation had critical information but didn't act on it, and opportunities to protect Ashley were missed. We trust the system to manage dangerous offenders, and for us that trust has been completely broken. No family should have to go through this pain. We will continue to fight for change so that no other family has to endure the nightmare we have lived through.
The family say Ashley's memory deserves justice, and they won't stop until they have it. Anna Yosef, ITV News.
Well, after today's ruling, Greater Manchester Police responded by saying, "Our thoughts continue to be with Ashley's loved ones who have endured the most traumatic time following his death. It is right that his killers will remain behind bars for a long time to come."
It goes on to say we will consider the conclusion of the coroner and apply any necessary changes. We've acknowledged that we should have better shared information with probation about one of the offenders prior to Ashley's death. We're yet to receive a response from the probation service. Well, next, the former Mayor of Liverpool, Joe Anderson, and former politician Derek Hatton have appeared in court in Preston on charges of bribery and misconduct in public office.
Yes, the charges are the result of a Merseyside police investigation called Operation Aloft into a number of property developers and the awarding of commercial and business contracts from Liverpool City Council between 2010 and 2020.
Well, our correspondent Rob Smith is in Liverpool tonight. Rob, what can you tell us?
The man who used to walk into this building for work, his old office, the Cunard building, walked into a court today to deny all the charges against him. Joe Anderson appeared before Preston Magistrates Court, accused of bribery, misconduct in a public office and conspiracy to commit misconduct. Among the details spelt out in the charges themselves, Mr. Anderson is said to have sent, quote, threatening letters to himself. He was, of course, the mayor of Liverpool from 2012 all the way until he stepped down in 2020. After the hearing, he spoke to the media outside the court.
I've defended myself and protested my innocence from day one. I'll continue to do so because I've done nothing wrong. I've always put the city of Liverpool and its people first, and will always continue to do so.
Now, alongside the former mayor in the dock today was his son, David Anderson, who's 37 and from Wavertree. He denies the misconduct conspiracy charge. The father and son facing those charges, among 12 people facing those charges after that police investigation into contracts from Liverpool Council stretching back 10 years before 2020. Those dozen people include Derek Hatton, the former deputy leader of the city authority back in the 1980s, and his wife, Sonia. Now, the judge told Mr. Hatton today not to chew in court, and he removed something from his mouth before denying bribery as well as counselling or procuring misconduct. Mrs. Hatton indicated a not guilty plea to misconduct in a public office. The remaining defendants, either appearing in court in person or via a remote link, entered their own not guilty pleas or indicated that they would do so, or entered no plea at all as things stand to the various charges that they face. The district judge granted all of them unconditional bail, and they will be back in court, this time before a Crown Court in Preston on April 25th.
All right, Rob, in Liverpool, thank you.
Well, next tonight, and a judge has told a man he acted in an almost unbelievably cold-blooded and macabre way in murdering his housemate and dumping his body parts across Greater Manchester.
It was around this time last year that Marcin Majewicz killed Stuart Everett in the home they shared together.
Our reporter Emma Sweeney was in court as Majewicz was jailed for 34 years. And Emma, how did Stuart Everett's killer react to that sentence?
Well, Gamal, Marcin Majewicz showed no emotion as he was told of his fate today by Mr. Justice Kavanagh. He simply looked straight ahead, and to be frank, that is the way he has carried himself throughout this entire trial. The 42-year-old was found guilty last week by a jury who took less than 2 hours to unpick his pack of lies. Through his lawyer, he'd maintained that he was innocent. He'd maintained that it wasn't him who had murdered and dismembered Stuart Everett's body parts. That must have been somebody else. But CCTV caught Majewicz as he dumped Stuart Everett's body parts across Greater Manchester. He also then impersonated the dead man. He used his bank cards, he used his phone in order to try and create the impression that he was still alive. And as well as that, he went to great efforts to try and clean up after himself. The judge in this case today said that there were several aggravating factors, and among the most serious, he said, was the concealment, dismemberment and destruction of Stuart Everett's body.
You acted in an almost unbelievably cold-blooded and macabre way and showed complete disrespect and contempt for your friend's remains. This denied dignity to Stuart Everett even in death, and greatly increased the pain suffered by Stuart Everett's family when the murder came to light.
And Emma, a personal impact statement was also read out on behalf of Stuart's brother today too, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Zoe. Richard said that his family had been traumatised beyond belief. He described Majewicz as a devious, monstrous individual. He said that as a family, they couldn't get their heads around how a defenceless person who had many illnesses could be so cruelly and callously murdered. Stuart, he said, was a loving, caring human being who was living out his later years, doing what he loved to do best, eating nice food, growing his flowers and then watching them bloom in the spring. He said that he enjoyed having get-togethers with the family who loved him as much as he loved them. Now, one of the most tragic parts of this case is the fact that most of Stuart Everett's body parts have not been recovered, and police say with the passage of time they're uncertain how much more they will be able to recover. Of course, that is very difficult for Stuart's family to come to terms with. We're today's sentencing, though, hopefully that is some small comfort in what's been a tragic and a very painful 12 months for them.
OK, Emma at Manchester Crown Court, for now, many thanks indeed.
The Environment Agency has ordered a landfill site in Fleetwood to stop accepting waste until it's done something to stop a terrible smell coming from the area. Transwaste has faced protests and thousands of complaints about its Jameson Road site. The operator's been told it hasn't done enough to collect and manage landfill gas.
The Prime Minister has announced £415 million to upgrade rail services between Manchester and Yorkshire. It comes after long delays to the upgrade of the Transpennine route between Manchester and York after the dropping of HS2 extension.
Well, next, and it's the TV drama everyone's talking about. Adolescence on Netflix is not only brilliantly acted, it's also sparked a national debate about tough things like toxic masculinity and the dangers of social media.
Yes, but it's also highlighted something else, the stunning breakthrough performance of the young actor Owen Cooper from Warrington, who plays Jamie, the teenage boy at the centre of the story.
Our entertainment correspondent Caroline Whitmore caught up with Owen and his co-star Faye Marseille, who plays a police detective.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. Do you understand?
Dad, I haven't done anything!
Adolescence is not a whodunit, it's a whydunit. How did this boy end up in this place?
Your son has been arrested on suspicion of murder.
Well, I'm now here in the dressing room at Television Centre in London. You've just been on this morning. Everybody is talking about adolescence.
It's been insane, hasn't it? It's been mental, but in the most beautiful way. And the conversations that we've started by doing this show, you know, it's more than we could have dreamed of, isn't it?
Whether I understand what I did.
This was Owen's debut.
He's part of our gang and we love him to bits, and yeah, I feel very grateful to have worked with him.
Well, he's part of our gang as well because he's from the Northwest. You're from Warrington. Your debut acting job is working alongside Stephen Graham. You're the lead actor and they did each episode in one shot. How much pressure can you put on a 15-year-old?
It was quite scary at first, but after the 2 weeks of rehearsal, I was comfortable and I was in a safe space to be around.
Stephen obviously is from Kirby, and your on-screen mum as well. She's from Liverpool. Did that make you feel a little bit more at home?
Yes, because Stephen, I didn't look at Stephen when we were shooting. I looked at him as my dad in real life.
Did you do it?
My dad isn't a Scouser, but like, you know, it helps a lot.
Obviously brought up a lot of themes like this toxic masculinity. How do you feel about those themes in the drama?
Episode 3, which we did first, I wasn't really comfortable with it first, like the subject matter and the intensity about it.
Obviously, you're a young lad who goes to school. Have you seen anything like that?
My mates, not really, and the incel and the emoji stuff is a big eye-opener. It's genuinely happening in the society of today.
I think people all over the world know you now, not just in the UK.
I know it is a bit mad, because if I was to say I was an actor like 5 years ago today, I would think I'm crazy, and I'm so proud to be of a project like this. I started off about 4 years ago. I did it for about 2 years. I was going to a drama, like little class thing called Drama Mob in Manchester. I haven't been to school yet since it's been out, but I'm going to school on Monday, so I'm not really looking forward to that. But the public, I've not had any bother.
What is next? I'm hear whisperings of Heathcliff.
Yeah, I'm playing young Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights. I didn't know what it was before I got the offer.
You wanted to be a footballer, but you're now looking like you're going to be an actor. It's not a bad second choice.
I'm a Liverpool fan, same as Stephen, so that's why we clicked straight away. I wanted to be a footballer when I was a kid, but acting came along and then I'm choosing this 100%.
Jay, don't say nothing!
What did Stephen Graham say to you on the set?
Well, before I met him, I was intimidating him because of this is England, so yeah, I was a bit scared of him, but when I met him, he's such a nice guy. And
Stephen Graham is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Hands down, and is one of the most loving and wants everybody to feel appreciated.
Well, Team Adolescence, thank you for chatting to us here in London.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You do not tell me when to sit down!
Wow.
I think it's fair to say that Owen definitely has a bright future ahead of him.
What a talent. Hard to believe that he's had no acting experience prior to doing that.
Incredible.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
All right, time for sport now, and it's FA Cup quarter-final weekend, and we have 2 teams left standing, Mike.
Yeah, that's right. The prize this weekend is a trip to Wembley for the semi-finals, so plenty at stake for both Manchester City and for Preston North End. And it's Preston where we start tonight. The Championship club take on Aston Villa at Deepdale on Sunday in their first FA Cup quarter-final since the 1960s. David Chisnall has been sampling the cup fever in the city.
Formed in 1880, Preston North End is a club steeped in history as one of the 12 founder members of the Football League and 2-time winners of the FA Cup.
And that's squeezed through brilliantly.
Fast forward to now, and the team of 2025 are making their own history after taking the club back to the quarter-finals of the Cup for the first time in 59 years, where they face a home tie with Premier League side Aston Villa.
Yeah, long wait, but pleased to be in the quarter-final. We're 1 game away from Wembley. Everyone's excited about the game. Full house at Deepdale, one of the last 8 in the Champions League coming to town. It doesn't get any better.
Brady! Well, Robbie Brady's wonder kick against local rivals Burnley helped to cement Preston's spot in the last 8 of the Cup. They're now the only Football League club left standing, with the other 7 teams all Premier League sides.
For a club who hasn't had as much success as they would have liked over the last number of years to find yourself in this spot and so far into such a great competition is massive for the fans. Gives everyone a lot to cheer about, and we'll be looking to put on a good display.
These are the hottest tickets in town, with a sellout crowd expected at Deepdale on Sunday. The fans are hoping their team can continue to make their mark on this year's Cup by reaching a Wembley semi-final.
We weren't expecting to be here now with a quarter-final spot against Aston Villa. So who knows?
Can you do it?
Of course we can do it, yeah. If we win, we're off to Wembley. And then if we win that, we're off to Europe.
Can't believe it. Quarter-finals of the FA Cup. It's a bit of a dream, really. I've not seen us get this far before in my lifetime.
Biggest game in, I think, 60 years or so in the FA Cup, and hopefully we can get through to a game at Wembley.
Well, Preston's manager knows what it's like to reach Wembley, taking Sheffield United to the semi-finals in 2023 to face Manchester City.
Great place to play, great place to manage, to go and coach. And again, it's what's next, it's the prize. That's a big achievement in itself. An FA Cup semi-final as an EFL club, a big achievement. But then almost the potential prize gets even bigger again. And like I said, we want to make sure that we keep this run going as long as possible, the excitement going as long as possible. And it just creates another day for us all to enjoy.
A decade after their last trip to Wembley in the playoffs, Preston are now just 1 win away from a return in the Cup. David Chisnall, ITV News, Preston.
Well, straight after that Preston match on Sunday, Manchester City kick off their quarter-final tie away at Bournemouth, a game you can see live here on ITV1 from 3:45. The competition represents City's only chance of domestic silverware this campaign.
This is so nice, the FA Cup, so that's why we took seriously, like we took in the past the Carabao Cup, winning 4 in a row, so could not be otherwise, you know? So it's what you have to do. The results, we don't know, but take seriously is what you have to do. And of course, with the season we have, to come back to Wembley to play a semi-final, to try to reach, the final would be nice.
To Rugby League, and the crisis deepens at Salford, where the club's players and staff haven't been paid for the second time this season. The Red Devils are going through a takeover, but until the cash flow issues are resolved, league rules prevent coach Paul Rowley from playing his first choice team. They head to Wigan in Super League on Sunday. Warriors boss Matt Peat admits he feels for everyone at the club.
Sympathy and concerns really for Salford as a club, and not just the playing and coaching staff, but those that work behind the scenes and the families of people who work there as well. I think it's not good to see, to have that uncertainty around people's livelihoods. So hopefully Paul and the board can lead the club out of it, because there's a lot to like about Salford.
Getting that winning feeling. FOW, sponsor of the Granada Sport Report.
Finally, to the golfing superstar who's landed yet another prize. Southport's Tommy Fleetwood has been honoured by Liverpool John Moores University. He was presented with an honorary fellowship during a service at Liverpool Cathedral this afternoon. It's in recognition of his sporting achievements and his support of the university. Next stop is the USA for the Masters in 2 weeks' time.
It's another one of those things, like my whole family came to this. My dad is like probably more proud than what I'll do in golf, really, just seeing this. And yeah, none of our family have ever been to a graduation, so it's a first for all of us. Whatever happens in life or wherever I go, still feel very close connections to the Northwest. Southport, Merseyside, Northwest, they mean a lot to me wherever I travel, so I'll always be, hopefully, I will always be a part of the culture here.
And you're jetting off to the Masters soon as well, to Augusta. How are you feeling ahead of that?
The majors come thick and fast now over a short period of time. You want to be feeling as good as you can and feeling in a good place. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting this part of the season going. And yeah, Masters is first one up. Played really well last year, and that's given me a lot of confidence. So we'll see.
Tommy, speaking to our reporter Ellis Nordhoff there. Tommy Fleetwood, one of those sporting superstars who hasn't changed a bit, still grounded, still humble, and we love that about him.
Yeah, another memorable day for him.
Absolutely.
Lovely. Thanks, Mike. All right, Northwest music stars were out on the red carpet in Liverpool last night for the return of the Northern Music Awards.
Yeah, the event celebrating musicians from across the north of England is about more than just accolades. The night is put on by music therapy charity Nordhoff and Robbins.
There were, of course, some special performances by some of our homegrown talent too. Victoria Grimes can tell us more.
In this world, we've got to find the time for the life of
Ian Brodie, Special Recognition Award. This is amazing.
Yeah, I don't know quite what that means. Is that because they couldn't think of anything else?
You know what that means.
But it's very nice to receive something. I'm very honoured to be here.
Nothing's certain, I don't mind. And in other amazing news, tell us what's happened.
I'm a granddad, so I'm really very happy about that. Yeah.
And this is your son Riley's little
Yeah.
one. So has he got your nappy duties already then?
They don't trust me with the nappy duties. I don't know why I've offered, but I'm just not trusted in that area.
Keep it like that, then you don't need to get involved.
Why don't you come on over?
Abby, Dave, the Zootons, you are back after 16 years and back with a band with an award tonight. What have you won?
Best Northern band, I think. I'm not
band
sure.
in the world.
Best band
in the world, I'll do. Best band in the world. What do you think it means to the city to have these awards here?
It's brilliant because this is a really cool venue,
Yeah,
and it's we played here in 2019, and it's a really special venue for us.
Has it got to be a city in the north for it to be the Northern Music Award?
It's got to be in the north.
yeah.
It's got to be in the north.
Keep an eye out for Gary. He's 8 foot tall with a fiberglass heart.
Blossoms and Rick Astley. What are you doing with these cool kids?
Rick's just another brother. Just
another brother.
Just another brother of the band, yeah.
I heard the news story about a giant fiberglass gorilla that was stolen from a garden centre. Yeah, I just thought, I'm going to try and turn it into a song.
Well, Rick, you appeared in the video, and you're presenting them with the award tonight, Music Moment of the Year.
Indeed. Probably the reason that it's music moment is because of you in the video. that's the music moment, yeah.
That's why you see it.
Getting that, and it's, now it makes sense.
Well, some of the biggest stars of the Northern music scene are here tonight in Liverpool, but it's not just about the awards. This is also a chance to raise money for a very special music therapy charity who help transform the lives of many here in the Northwest.
We work with approximately 6,000 people across the Northwest doing about 20,000 music therapy sessions, and music has a power which I think most musicians here this night will know.
When you actually see some of the therapy work that goes on and what have you, it is life-changing, and it's sort of something to support families and people that they've got that expression.
People respond to music, people with all kinds of problems. They do great work, a wonderful organisation.
A few drinks afterwards, I would imagine, tonight?
Yeah, a few
Yeah,
shades.
maybe a few shandies. Are you going to take Rick on a night out in Liverpool tonight? Do you think he's ready for it?
Oh, wait, let's get one thing straight. Vic's the one that takes you out on a night out.
I've already started, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, it looks like a fab night. And congrats to Ian Brady for becoming a granddad.
I know. Congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, staying with their music, and the last piano ever played by John Lennon has been played again for the first time in 30 years.
Brad Keller from Liverpool playing his own version of Lennon's classic Imagine after winning the Channel 4 show The Piano. Brad said it was an honour to play the instrument, which has been at the Beatles Story Museum in Liverpool since 2015. Now for the weather forecast, here's Joe.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thank you. Very good evening to you. Plenty happening this weekend. The clocks go forward on Sunday morning. Bright and breezy conditions weather-wise on both days, with a drop of rain moving in tomorrow night. And next week, temperatures are on the up. We also have a partial solar eclipse visible between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. tomorrow. Of course, we're not looking directly at the sun, but we have a fairly good chance here in the northwest of viewing it, particularly through the first part of the morning with clear skies for our part of the world. Now back to the details for this evening and overnight. Showers will tend to peter out over the next couple of hours or so, becoming increasingly clear. Still a bit of a breeze, so no real problems with mist or fog, but we will have a touch of frost tonight in rural parts, particularly Cheshire and Cumbria before dawn. A dry, chilly start to Saturday across the board, and temperatures up at 5:52, setting at 6:40 tomorrow evening. It's likely to be really nice to start the day tomorrow, and the best the sunshine will be through the first part of the day. Winds increase in strength through the afternoon, especially for Irish Sea coasts, and cloud will tumble across the Irish Sea, bringing rain to the Isle of Man, later on Cumbria and Lancashire before the close of play tomorrow, with brightness being confined to the Peak District, Greater Manchester and Cheshire as we end the day. 12 Celsius around average or just above, quite a fresh breeze tomorrow, but after tomorrow temperatures will be on the up and you'll feel the benefit of some nice sunshine as we go through Sunday. But tomorrow night rain moves through, that clears away quickly, and the end of the weekend should be fine and dry. And next week temperatures well above average, 16 Celsius Monday and Tuesday, and staying dry. We'll lose frost by night too. Have a great weekend.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Finally.
Spring is finally here. That is it from us. Have a great weekend and we shall see you next week.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.